Hey everybody, Jay Burton from Alicomp here. Today we're going to have a real quick video with some tips and ideas on forklift safety and forklift training. We obviously want to make sure we're keeping our employees safe while they are operating their forklifts at work. So stay tuned and we'll give you a few tips and ideas on how to make sure to do that and make sure your training is up to date and adequate for what you need. So the very first step in this process is we have to identify the types of forklifts that we have at our facility. In order for proper training, obviously we got to know what we're using, what type. A few common examples that we see out in the field of forklifts that are used are electric motor rider trucks, electric motor narrow aisle trucks, electric motor hand or hand rider trucks, also known as pallet jacks, tuggers, and then internal combustion engine trucks or gas-powered forklifts. The next step in this process is we want to conduct a proper workplace analysis. What we're looking for here in our workplace analysis in regards to forklift safety and forklift training is we're looking for, does your workplace have any slopes or areas like that the operators may have to operate on? These can present additional hazards that may not be present in other normal operations. So we want to identify areas like that. And then also any low visibility areas. Are there any areas where there are closed corners that people can't see around corners? People may be coming out of walkways. Anything like that, because we want to make sure, for one, as the safety side, we want to make sure that we're putting measures in place to prevent accidents in those areas, like convex lights, convex mirrors, anything like that. Also, we want to be able to make sure we are properly educating our operators of these areas and making sure that they know to take extra precautions when operating in these areas. And while this may seem obvious, the next thing we want to do is make sure that we're following all manufacturers' instructions, guidelines, utilizing those safety manuals that come with our equipment. And not just from a safety side, obviously from the safety side we want to be aware of those, but we want to also make sure we're making our operators and employees aware of those and educating them on what is within those manuals. We also want to utilize our safety data plates on the forklifts. These are going to give you stuff such as load capacities, the type of equipment it is, serial number, truck weight, all that good stuff. This is also important information to know and important for employees to know where to find that safety data plate and how to use it if needed. The next thing we want to look at is we want to make sure that we are properly completing our inspections on our equipment. So we want to inspect our forklifts pre-use, so at least daily, and then if you operate on a 24-hour shift or you have multiple shifts throughout the day, you want to do it prior to each shift. So whatever employee's getting on it, they need to make sure they're going through a pre-shift inspection. Also, and this is again an obvious one, but we want to make sure post-accident inspections are being completed as well. We don't want to have an accident on a forklift and then put that thing right back into use and find out after the fact that the forklift is what was causing the accident. So make sure anytime there is an accident on a piece of equipment, we are inspecting it properly by a competent person after that as well. Here on the screen is is just an example inspection sheet that you can utilize. This can be found in our online safety library. So if you have not been on there, please go check it out there. But it's going to give you date, truck number, department, shift, what operator's using it, obviously the type of forklift it is. You can also do these electronically if you have the capabilities. If you have a computerized system on your list for checking inventory and that kind of stuff, you can get these downloaded onto there where operators can just do it right there on their screen. But it's going to go through safety and operational checks. So, for example, here you see forks, top clip, retaining pin and heel, check condition. Obviously, if it's okay, you just click OK. Goes down through all the different items that need to be checked. The nameplate, like we talked about before, that's in place. And then it goes down. This one up top is for a internal combustion engine forklift, so a gas or diesel forklift. And if you go down here, there's also a checklist for an electric powered industrial truck. Can go through the same things. So it's going to go through operational checks, visual checks. So you can see it here. We want to make sure we're doing these inspections properly. Last thing we want is operators to be, or employees to be operating forklifts that have not been properly inspected and that may have defects that need to be addressed. And finally, we get to training. Two things with training when it comes to forklift safety or just powered industrial truck safety in general. So two things. We want to have formal training. Formal training includes items like this that you see here on the screen, quizzes. It includes written testing, videos. It's the more classroom type environment training. Okay. The next step is hands-on training. Hands-on training is going to include your evaluations that ensure employees can physically operate the forklift in a safe and correct manner. So formal and hands-on training is very important. Here is an example of a safety quiz we want to go through. So we want to do this, like I said, watch a video, have a written program in place to where you can do that classroom type training, and then get out next and make sure that these evaluations, the employees are able to complete these evaluations properly, and that they're operating those forklifts. They're taking this formal training here and putting it into practice out on the floor. So finally, the last thing we want to look at is certifications and retraining. So when it comes to retraining, we want to make sure we are retraining employees anytime they are observed operating in an unsafe manner, anytime they're involved in an accident or near-miss situation, anytime they've received a poor evaluation, anytime they are assigned to a different type of forklift or powered industrial truck, or anytime the workplace changes. So if there's a change in workplace conditions, we want to make sure we complete evaluations and training at that point as well. And then finally, at least every 3 years, we want to make sure we're completing a forklift evaluation if all of the previous criteria we talked about does not occur. At least every 3 years, that's according to OSHA. Now remember, OSHA standards are the minimum standards and minimum requirements that employers have to meet. So don't just sit back and do the minimum standards. If you see a need for improved forklift safety at your facility, take the time and do this more often. Go through that. You can do the evaluation as much as you want to. It doesn't take much other than sitting back and observing your forklift operators operating their equipment. So here I've put on the screen just an example of a certification and evaluation form. Again, it's going to give you the name, department of the employee signature. It's going to go through all the hands-on training and evaluation points that you need to check off and make sure you're good. It's also going to document the operator name, training date, evaluation date, and name of trainer, which are all very important aspects of this training program. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. I'll put our contact information here at the end of this video. We're happy to help if you need any type of assistance in your forklift safety and training procedures. Give us a call, shoot us an email. Also, feel free to check it out on our online safety library. I'll also have that information down below. So look on our online safety library. On there, there's a ton of additional information and resources to assist you in your forklift safety and training needs. So look on there. If you don't have your login credentials yet for that safety library, again, just reach out to us. We're happy to get that to you. and hopefully you can find some stuff on the safety library that can assist you as well. Thanks for watching today, and we'll see you next time.